I just didn't get menopause care at all. I did a lot of complaining, voicing to the providers that I had at the time, and I got the usual, this is normal, you just have to get through it. And to be honest, I owe the big change in the journey to Michael.
Welcome to Fated to Fabulous, the podcast for women who know that midlife is not the end. It's the beginning of something bold. Let's get into it.
Hey, ladies.
Hey,
welcome to
back.
Fated to Fabulous. So glad you're back with us.
We have a special guest, Farrah Fawcett. Has anyone noticed? Cat's out of the bag. Kim,
I have hair.
You were already so lovely, and now you're just lovelier.
Yes.
Kim got hair extensions. You want to talk about that?
Yes. So always had thin, fine hair. That's just been my hair since birth. As I went through menopause, it became thinner and thinner. And to be honest, I just kind of like put one foot in front of the other and kept on going, right? Did all the supplements, all the things you could possibly do, the whatever it is, Nioxin, whatever that stuff's called, and just kind of put up with it. When I was in Arizona in February with Jennifer said, hey, let me do a makeover on you. And I'm like, cool, fun. She's great. She said, we're going to go and we're going to find some clip-in extensions and see what you think. Because she was noticing between the times that I saw her that my hair was getting thinner. And so she put these clip-ins on me, and it was a little costumey, but I loved it. I was like, oh my goodness, I want this. So when I came back to New Hampshire, I started to just scholarly look at it, and because it's an investment in both time and money. And I chose a place in Manchester called Elavina, specifically because they were doing women who have menopause-related thinning. So
That's great.
Yeah. So about a month and a bit ago, I had my extensions put in. I guess this is going to come out a lot longer. So in March, my birthday month, I had my extensions put in. And while they were being put in, because they have to pull your hair up in order to sew the wefts in, and I could see in the bright light in the mirrors just how thin my hair was. And it was a bit heartbreaking. Like it was a real moment of a bit sad, because I realized how unhappy I had been. And this profound sense of, wow, like you can actually do something about this.
I'm really proud of you.
Yes. So, my mantra of trying to be an example of what's possible, this is an example of that. You do not need to live with things that can be fixed. Obviously, it costs some money and time and attention to it, but
it was something that was taking up room in your brain.
Exactly.
And was bothering you.
Exactly.
And now you can see it when you come into the office and you're sassier than ever.
I love it. So to throw Michael slightly under the bus, people would say, oh my God, Michael must be so thrilled. He must love it. And I'm
that's what I said.
And I'm like, no, not really. Like he was kind of meh about it. But I honestly said, it really doesn't matter. I did it for me.
Yes.
He could hate it, and it wouldn't have made any difference because I love it and I did it for me. Yeah. So hopefully it'll grow on him, and if he sees that I'm happier about it, then maybe he'll be like, less than mad.
Can we take a break?
If people don't know me by now,
yourself a little closer to your
people
microphone.
don't know me by now, is I'm externally reserved.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to tell. I didn't tell him about the microphone. You got to get closer to it.
Oh.
You got to put your knee down
No.
and move it. Sorry, honey.
So
Kim's being bossy.
I know, but I need to hear his voice, right?
So I am externally reserved but internally passionate. How's that?
Oh, I like that. So first of all, let's talk about who you are. Everyone, this is Mr. Kim. This is Michael, Kim's wonderful husband.
Yeah.
Who is brave enough. We have to be nice to him, Kim.
So
He
he's
was brave
Michael
enough to come in.
Sampson, but you can call him Michael Lovely if you want to. He often gets Michael
I
Lovely.
bet he does. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
It's great.
And
name.
Michael was brave enough to come and join us. The episode we titled Through Menopause Together, a Real Conversation with My Husband, Marriage, Mood Swings, and Menopause. I think that is absolutely fantastic. And the reason, if you're wondering why we don't have Mr. Vicky here, is because I don't know that we would have to edit him, I think, a lot, and he would make a lot of dad jokes. But maybe someday, maybe he'll listen to this and he'll be brave enough to come on.
That would be great. That'd be great.
So, Kim, you've talked before, but let's go go through the highlights of your menopause, because you've talked about it on podcasts before, but just kind of give a glimpse of what that looked like.
I thought I would start with the good.
Yeah.
So the good was that during that time, I actually was part of a women-focused gym. And we were doing strength training. And so physically, like my strength, my physicality was good. So despite all of the junk that was happening with regards to my hormones, I was getting all the things I didn't realize would be super helpful. So that's the good of that journey. The not so good, I think, is just what all women talk about, is lack of care. I just didn't get menopause care at all. I did a lot of complaining, voicing to the providers that I had at the time, and I got the usual, this is normal, you just have to get through it. And to be honest, I owe the big change in the journey to Michael, because I was at a low point when my cycles were coming like every 2 weeks, and they were ridiculously heavy. And I had gone to a car appointment at Honda. Do you even remember this?
Maybe.
And I had done all the suitable changes before I left home, and I arrived at the Honda dealership and realized that none of the things were working, and that I had already blown through all of it. And it was half an hour drive from my house. And I called Michael and I was like, I can't do this. Like, I need a hysterectomy. I was like, do you don't remember? Yeah. And funnily enough, he goes, well, go to the mall and get yourself some new clothes and then find another provider. Like, bail. You always tell people, if someone doesn't treat your car very well, would you go back to them? And I was like, no. So he was sort of the one that kind of said, enough. And I did find someone who at least stopped my periods, right? Which was at the time was the best sort of solution for me. So I think for me, the gym was a good place, but me personally, I was lonely, anxious, frightened, mad. I mean, all of that sort of stuff kind of happening. I didn't have any personal support. My mom, was far gone, her Alzheimer's journey at that point. None of my friends were in that same situation of life. They were all a couple of years behind me, so I was sort of the only one going through it. So I found it a very isolated period. I was very isolated. Yeah. And the dysregulation of my moods was probably the worst. Like, I just felt like I was constantly yelling at people. I was in an unhappy job. I call myself a bully, and I really was. I was a bit of a bully at work because I was just so frustrated. I know you can't see it, right? I know. I know. So that was sort of the downside of it.
Not feeling like yourself.
Not feeling
that
like
sounds
myself.
Like a lot.
No. Yeah.
Michael, what do you recall about that time?
Just to give Kim an accolade in regards to take out the bullying, because she's very advocate about the patient, and her time in taking care of children, infants at that time, was a driving force to get answers and cures for the kids. She was combative in regards to the administration about dotting the I's. And
she stood up to the man. Yeah.
Right. And I always reinforce is that the patient is the final goal. Yes. So during that time, to answer your questions, the highs and lows came out of mystery. Yes. And I still remember hanging up clothes on our external clothesline and
being screamed at.
And being screamed at. And part of my internal processing, which Kim calls myself and our daughter Catherine turtles, because we just kind of
stick their heads in and hide.
And absorb it. It's like, what is going on here? And then there was a point in time is that I just kind of shut down and I smiled and I looked at her and didn't say anything back and just see what's going on here. So there was no reason described, because until you ladies started into the menopause journey, I never heard about it. Never knew anything about it.
Wow.
I'm so naive about it. So, and of course, in my office and home, I hear Kim talking. And so I pick up pieces and I learn and I understand and about emotions. And I know you'll get to a part about advocacy for the significant other, which is, it's just, knowledge is powerful.
Do you remember sitting around the campfire with Grant and Krista?
Yes, in Nova Scotia?
Yes. And we were talking about that men are isolated too, right? So do you remember? And Grant is I'd love to have him on sometime, actually, because he'd be really fun. He's very demonstrative, very like out there. Yeah. And he was we were having the conversation about, sort of our dysregulation and arguing with our spouses or, being kind of crabby. And Grant saying, it would have been really nice to know that we weren't the only ones. We felt like we were the only ones in this journey, that no one else was experiencing their partners being so unhappy and so miserable. Like even that would have been helpful. So we never thought about it that way before, but like...
Yeah, so right? Grant really opened up another avenue or channel of inspiration and teaching what is going on in the world. And that let's just say men in my shoes are trying to understand where the better half is coming from all of a sudden, right?
Right.
And so, it's not in our...
No, and I talk to women too when they're going through this season. Right. And I say, are you being, because especially if I talk about sexuality, for example, and I say, are you talking about it? So I always say, it's problematic. Are you talking about it openly? And there's a lot of times it's a no. Right. And like your spouse has no clue.
Correct.
Right. I mean, maybe now if they're watching some social media videos, but certainly not when you two were in that situation. And I always say to women too, because I think sometimes as women, we expect that How do you not know?
Correct.
Right? And
do you know what a uterus is?
But you know what I mean? How do you not know that I feel like stabbing and angry and whatever, and why that's happening? And I think if you had a cast, if you broke your arm, you have a cast, your husband's going to be like, let me pick
Wash
you.
the dishes.
Yeah, do the dishes. Let me jump in and help you. But if we don't say, this is what I'm feeling and this is what I'm experiencing, and they don't know, you look the same on the outside, but all of a sudden you're not the person potentially that.
So, we had the conversation about your mom.
Yeah.
So we had that reality of, so Michael was a menopause baby. We believe.
Wow.
They thought his mother was in menopause, and in actual fact, she was pregnant with him. And then 4 years after he was born, his oldest sister had a baby when she was a junior in high school.
Oh, my gosh.
And so that was very traumatic because in those days in a Catholic family, that young woman had to go live in one of those home for the unwed women, and the baby was adopted. And then 5 years after that, that same daughter died. Wow. So Michael's mother's menopause journey included a pregnancy,
a huge grief,
a child with a pregnancy, and a death of a child. And she ended up being hospitalized, and what they said was for arrest, right? But in actual fact, she was dealing with way more than any mother, woman, wife should deal with, plus in her own menopause.
Wow.
So,
talk about a rough journey.
Yeah. And she would have had nobody.
No, she certainly wasn't getting
nobody, no
support.
voice.
Right.
Yeah. So that was sort of interesting.
I was just going to loop back to the unknown. So if you're a parent of a teenage daughter, you kind of have an idea of what's happening or going to happen, or the unknown every morning when you're
sure. Who's coming down? Which personality?
And so our good friend Karen has two daughters, and at that time, she never know who was going to come down the stairs, right? And it's funny, this concept needs to translate 20 years in advance, right? Who's coming down the staircase as to your significant partner? So it's just, again, back to education moving forward.
Yeah. So who's coming down the stairs? And I better have done those dishes.
Right. So there's a book title for you ladies.
Okay.
Who's coming down the stairs?
Who's coming down? I love
it. That's funny. That's so funny.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to get the trademark for that for sure. Okay. Kim, how do you feel you've changed in this season of life? Like, what have been some of the biggest changes you feel in you in this season?
I was thinking about this the other day. I think the ability to step away from things that are not necessarily my job responsibility or whatever. Like, it's been sort of a freeing stage in a way. You know, when it comes to parenting our kids, I think during the early part of my menopause, I was still really more the parent that was doing all the things, right? Michael, his job was different. He traveled. He was commuting to Massachusetts every day, and I was the parent in charge. And I think as I got through this other side of the journey, and his life changed as well. So he works from home now. It's been really nice to step away from the day-to-day stuff.
Toss the baton.
Yeah. So I think, and not really. And in the past, I think if the kids went to Michael first to ask questions, I'd be like, well, what's wrong with me? Like, I'd sort of say, well, oh my gosh, why don't they come to me? Now it's kind of like, not only is it okay, but it's also like, Yahoo! Like, it's great.
Did you ask your dad yet? Where's your dad?
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. So I think that part, I think confidence, I think in this journey, I feel really good about me as a 61-year-old. Like, I feel like I am showing up for myself, showing up for my work, all of that. Like, I think what has changed a lot for me is just a sense of confidence in who I am.
I love that.
Yeah.
Michael, what would you say that from the perspective of being on the side?
What's changed?
What have you noticed in this season of life that's changed a lot about Kim, or most?
Her personality is always, like I said, about the pediatrics, and the child is the premier. So when she has a tough challenge or task at hand, and it's really, really, really important, just stay out of her way. What's your nickname for me?
Which one?
Caboose.
Oh, yes. Michael's my caboose.
So
He cleans up after me.
I'm like a snowplow coming in and cleaning up, and identifying those tasks which need to be taken off her plate so she can continue with her pursuit. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like Sunday afternoon ironing.
Oh, let's be true. You want to iron so you can watch hockey. No, it's an excuse to watch hockey, right?
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic. So,
yeah,
it is therapeutic.
How did you guys communicate through this time? Like through that time that you were struggling? I mean,
Poorly.
I'm getting the sense you were less.
Poorly.
You were more like turtling, right?
Yeah, poorly.
Yeah. Again, my personality is to absorb, analyze, and process.
Okay.
In Kim's world, it's perceived that she wants it done in 60 seconds. For me, it takes 6 days, 60 days. It just doesn't happen because...
And the more I push, the more he digs his heels in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So... And the reason of my personality is because my line of business and finance is that risk reward. So you want to mitigate the risk, and the risk is pissing off my wife. There it is. It's come out now. And the reward is just being a good partner and supporting her in her quest. So so you just kind of lie low. And again, partners are completely different. So somebody in my chair could come up with a 60-second. Okay, I know exactly what to do. I understand what's going on, but
I think that probably one of our communication post-menopause has improved dramatically.
That's what I was
gonna ask.
I
think when I was in menopause, like those were some of the worst years. Like 2015 was a heinous year. My mom died. Catherine was a disaster. Michael was changing jobs between jobs. Jeffrey didn't want to be a diabetic. Like it was a heinous year, right? So I think we were really putting out fires more than having good conversations. We've always, one of the things I love about Michael and I is we're on the same page when it comes to going to bed and getting up. Like we generally go to bed at the same time and we get up at the same time. So we at least have those end of the day and beginning of the day stuff. And then I think as we've gotten older and our kids, don't require our attention so much, we spend a lot more time together and doing the monotony of life, right? Like just the silly things.
It's just quiet communication. Like I spent many, many years grocery shopping with my mother.
Yeah.
And so it was a partnership when my brothers and sisters had moved away. So it was time spent with my mother. And that partnership is golden, which I transferred to Kim, where we do on Saturdays. It's just 2 hours of our day shopping.
The years that I would have to shop at like 5 different stores because we didn't have, I was awful. When we first moved to New Hampshire, we literally would go to 5 different places for me to find all the things I wanted. And he would dutifully
Wow.
drive around. We even went to Massachusetts to shop for a few years.
So
Yeah.
a funny story. She had to be away one time. I did grocery shopping by myself. Usually I'm on my phone pushing
holds the cart.
and I'm texting my sisters in Nova Scotia just to catch up. And I don't know where anything is. So I was a quick learner.
Yeah.
So.
Did they have to kick you out of the store after 12 hours?
Oh, yeah, good part.
So, and on the other side, I don't keep track of the cart. So if I have to shop
Yes.
alone, I lose the cart.
Yes.
I literally have left the cart in produce and gone to the dairy section and gone, where are the blazes did I put the cart? Yeah. So
Yeah.
we are enmeshed.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
Yep.
it sounds like you guys are in a quieter season of life.
Yeah.
You're stable in your hormones.
Yes.
You know, you're both taking care of yourselves.
Correct.
And it sounds like you're doing a really good job taking care of each other now.
Yes.
Where I
Trying,
think it is
yeah.
a lot harder to do when
is.
your nervous system's completely dysregulated because you have all those other life circumstances. So it's
Yeah.
good because a lot of people grow, not everybody grows together.
Correct.
Yeah.
What advice would you give, Kim, to spouses or partners, loved ones of a woman going through menopause?
For men, I really think I would say, please do your best to not take it personal. Like, just don't take the stabby person coming down the stairs. Try really hard to not take it too personally, because I think that leads to sort of resentment. Like, what the heck is happening here? And if you just kind of step back and say, this is about them, not necessarily about me, the man. So if it's about them, what can I do? How can I help them live,
Right.
you know, at more peace, right? So, you know, I don't know whether that's a useful piece of advice or not, but I think it's the same as when you're raising teenagers, right? What's the best piece of advice is don't take it personally. Like, they will spew their venom at you and you can't take it personally.
Right.
And I think figure out a way of talking through what's going on, either with maybe another couple that might be going through it, because like we recognize that it would be really helpful to talk to Grant and Krista when, I mean, we all knew we were going through it, but we didn't sit down.
Nobody talked about it.
No, we didn't talk about it. And then maybe even getting, you know, making sure that the spouse feels that they're being heard too in some kind of way. And that might mean therapy. Like, that might mean, you know, finding a neutral party to talk to where they can sort of say, well, I didn't sign up to be
Absolutely.
screamed at every day either, right?
Yeah.
So that was his thing, was like, I do not want to be yelled at.
So on that same vein, what
Yeah.
advice would you give women on how to communicate with their partners?
I wouldn't expect a magic ball, but I think from the gentleman's perspective is like, when is this going to stop? So, right? Like,
There's the truth, right?
that's very blunt.
Like how much longer do I have?
Right. Is this 6 days, 60 days, or 6 years? And a significant other would say, I don't know. And sometimes that's not comforting. So I don't know if you can go historically backwards in regards to relatives, sisters, mothers, grandmothers, whatever, well, grandmothers. But yeah, I don't know. That's a magic bullet right there, is like...
Well, even today, it should be less of an issue.
Because
the good
it's
news is,
treated,
like, right?
yeah.
So what you walk through,
Women don't have to.
Women know, because they go on TikTok, they know, if I'm feeling this way, it may be my hormones, and I can see somebody and I can get some help for it.
Right.
So I really do feel like that is going to be... It may be more of a non-issue moving forward,
Okay.
where you had this unknown period of time. I mean, perimenopause is 7 to 10 years.
And I'm absolutely sure I did that full length of it.
Yeah.
You know, can you imagine like being able to actually say to your spouse, yeah, I'm starting estrogen tomorrow. Progesterone will be next month. I should be feeling better 6 to 8 weeks from now.
And then
that would
maybe
be
if
amazing.
I start testosterone,
Yeah,
we
if I
can
start testosterone, I
kick
might
things
be
up in the
interested. I
bedroom.
might be interested in sex
Right.
again. Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's very comforting to know guidelines and plans. And yeah, I think from a women's perspective is I'm taking care of myself, and these are the actions
Yeah.
that I'm
taking.
implementing.
I'm doing, right.
I'm doing. So yeah, again, the male perspective, reinforcing, supporting, understanding. There's no like, okay, May 1st. It's over.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Just,
That would be so nice.
just be a little patient, either before that or after it.
What do
So-
you say about hormone care too? It's a craft as much as, or an art as much as science or whatever.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely, especially in perimenopause, it's
Stabbing,
definitely, because
chasing
there are some
cats.
people who are like, yes, slam dunk. My whole life felt so much better. But more often than not,
Okay.
it's not like that. It might be, I hated that progesterone, or I think I'm on too much estrogen. And there
Right.
really is, it's
Yeah.
like a patient said this to me the other day, and it was brilliant. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It's very much like this porridge is too hot, this porridge is too cold. But once you get there, the sweet spot. And the goal should always be to feel so much better, not just a little bit better, you know. But it takes, it's patience, a lot of patience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Kim, what's
Yeah.
your favorite thing about Michael?
Good question.
Besides my ironing.
Wow. So many things. Could I isolate one thing?
Sure, I have one. Go ahead.
Oh, you want to tell me what I think?
You can do yours
can
first
do-
if you want.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Do your
Yeah.
one thing first. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but a long time ago, and I don't know where we were, but you said, "Why did you marry me?"
Oh, yeah.
And I said,
Because of my drive.
"Drive, yes." And it's reflective of my mother, who is English, is so passionate and driven. And so what I saw in her was what I saw in my mother. So it was a good characteristic, right?
Yeah.
And then I always bring it back to the patient. So the 19 years she spent in her nonprofit, I always reminded her the child is the end goal.
Yeah.
Separate the administration and all the fluff and all the barriers and the healthcare of the child. Yeah. So passion, drive.
So for Michael, I guess he has a consistent cool head. He very rarely loses his mind or gets unreasonable or irrational. Like I don't have any of that. He's pretty steady. You know that if he's mad, he's really mad. Like get out of the way, just leave because he's super pissed. Super pissed. He's the caboose, and it allows me to do what I like to do. I've never been one of those women that had to like ask their husband, "Hey, can I go to Greece with 23 other women?" Like he'd be like, "Oh, right." So he's always been very like, live your life, do your thing. And I'll clean up after you, the things that get left in the wake. And he does. Like when we travel together and stuff, even when we were skiing with the kids when they were little, I'd be the one racing down in front because that's just me. And he'd be the one cleaning up the back, like behind everybody else's family's kids. Michael would be the one making sure that all of them are gathered and down the hill. So
What a good team you guys are.
yeah. So
And also, Kim, if you were looking for one more thing,
yeah.
and you may not see it because you're in it.
Yeah.
How proud he is of you.
Oh, you are?
It's so obvious. I think you have a little blind spot there.
Well, I'll defer to the moderator.
It's funny because that's the thing. That is the one thing I'm always like, I need accolades. I need the actual verbal. And Michael's sort of like, why do you need to hear it? I know it. I act it. I show you it. Like, why do you need to hear
A
it?
dozen white roses
Yeah.
for your first podcast.
Yes. That's
Yes,
proud.
from an outside perspective,
Yeah.
I see. I think you have a little blind spot
I have a
on
little
it.
blind
I'm very
spot on
proud
that.
of
Yeah,
you.
okay. All right.
With
All
good
right.
reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Michael, for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you, Farah. We love the hair.
I love my hair.
She's
too.
a queen.
She is.
Yeah, and
Love
thank
my
you,
hair.
ladies, for being here. And
Yeah.
we're so glad you got to have the experience of Mr. Kim. He's pretty fantastic.
And hopefully it may help, another, like maybe you want to let your own spouse
Yeah,
listen.
watch
and-
this one, yeah.
Yeah, especially if maybe you're not quite in the journey yet. Maybe it'd be helpful.
Yeah.
All right.
Take care, ladies.
Take care, ladies.
Thank
See
you.
you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for spending time with Vicki and I today on Fated to Fabulous, where midlife is just the beginning of your boldest chapter yet. If you got something out of today's episode, we'd love it if you'd share it with a friend and leave a review. Hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're looking for more support, inspiration, or sisterhood, come join us at fatedtofabulous.biz, because you were never meant to do midlife alone. Until next time, stay fabulous.